and welcome to
Sestra-Tainment.
I'm Lenora.
And I'm Dee.
And we're coming to you today in regards to everything entertainment.
Yes, we are.
And we have some exciting entertainment today, don't we, sis?
We have. You've seen her on Homeland, okay? You've seen her on Swagger, okay? You've seen her on The Walking Dead World Beyond. You've seen her on Dope Sick with Michael Keaton. And in November, you will see her on Rustin. That's going to be coming out soon. The one and the only Toby Baby Bones Williams. Let's give it up to Baby Bones.
Toby, welcome.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here with you guys tonight.
Yeah, so we have a special guest, and we are going to start off our podcast a little differently today with an interview. And then we're going to move straight into our top choices for the week. So, Toby, tell us a little bit about, and to give more history, Toby has been an extra in all of the things.
Yeah, everything that I just mentioned, she's been an extra in.
And so tell us a little bit about how you found a passion for extra work. How did you get involved?
What made you get into it?
What made you do it?
All right. Well, actually, Lenora, you were the catalyst.
Oh, I did not know that.
Oh.
Because I was addicted to Homeland.
Oh,
and I talked about it. I was trying to get everybody to watch it. And then they were filming here in Richmond because Richmond's become now a really big player.
Yeah, it's like a destination
in
place,
the movie world. And Lenore was like, hey, did you know they were looking for extras for Homeland? And I was like, yeah.
Well, look at you changing lives.
Oh, I see. Who knew?
Manifest.
There you go.
And so I was like, no, I didn't. And so she was like, well, what do you think? And I said, I don't know what I think. And then I just sent them some pictures. And next thing you know, they contacted me. So.
And now it's reminding me of how she would be like, hey, don't you want to do some extra work with me? Don't you want to do some things? And I was like, no,
you should.
Really.
I
always decline.
Yeah, apparently Nina says no to a lot of things. Everything.
Well, I did submit her name.
Oh, you did?
Because they were looking for people to do a commercial for hikers.
Oh,
and I submitted a couple of pictures of us after our walk.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you was gonna make her
the scene.
You was gonna make her be like, oh no, we got cast. You'd be like, what? Who's we? Me and you.
I find out so many things on this podcast.
I know, right?
So many, all the things. So, knowing that I helped you to start the path, what made you continue? What do you enjoy a lot about the extra work? Because, there is a writer's strike, so we're not talking specifically about the
what's happening right now,
areas and what's happening, but just in general, the experience of being on set.
How is craft services?
Can I get my questions out first? You're talking about food. Can I get my question out? So again, what made you decide to stick with it, and what do you like about it?
Okay, thank you for prefacing that question with the current strike.
Correct.
Yeah. So I'm not a member of SAG. I'll say that, but my goal is to become a member of SAG. Okay. So I don't want to say or do anything that's going to jeopardize that.
I know that's right.
So I will say though, for me, I love movies. I love dissecting them, talking about them, figuring out, like even continuity. If someone, like we were talking about, somebody comes into the scene with their shirt buttoned. In the next scene, the shirt's unbuttoned, and they don't show you that transition.
Yeah, I don't like
so
that.
There's no continuity there, So all of it just fascinates me. So once I did Homeland, then it became more of a fascination for me, and something that I just found I really enjoyed seeing the behind the scenes. And it's pretty long days, just her.
Yeah, how long would it be? Like one day?
Like 12, maybe 14 hours.
Okay, so it's just a regular work shift. Cool.
Yeah. And so it's just a lot of fun. You just sit around a lot of times and wait.
Have you met celebrities?
I have.
Okay, which celebrities have you met?
I don't know if I can.
I think you can say. Like, I think the way that the strike works is this is my understanding.
The past celebrities that you have worked with
is that you can't promote the actual oh, you can see this on this streaming service. You can see this over here. You can do this way, or you can do this that way. I think in regards to, at least from what I've been hearing and watching a lot of entertainment things, people are just talking about things in general. Like I was watching something where a gentleman was talking about being on Shameless because somebody asked him the question. He didn't bring it up, but somebody said, hey, you were on Shameless. How was it working with William H. Macy? And he was able, as a SAG member, he was able to speak to that because he had been on NCIS and he had been on all these other things, and he had happened to be on Shameless. And so he talked about that.
But I feel like you can talk about the past, but not the future, right?
Yeah, you can talk about the past, but you can't talk about, but you can't promote. That's the whole thing about it. You're not promoting because you're upset at the actual streaming services, the networks, things like that. No, you spoke about it. You're not trying to be sad.
I know, but
so that doesn't matter.
As long as I didn't mess her up.
No. It's just more so about, yes, you can talk about an experience on a set, things of that nature.
If I messed it up for you, I'll talk to Fran Drescher for you.
There's
no
a lot
problem.
of people that
But people are trying to figure it out. For example, I was listening to Jolie Fisher talking about it, and somebody said, well, what is it that you like? If I ask you this question, is this okay? And she was and she's the secretary of SAG. Like her and Fran are like at the top of the whole food chain of everything with SAG. And so she was like, that's a great question. I don't even know, So I think it's one of those kind of things that you're just not going to go out. And if you had a red carpet event, you're not going to go out on a red carpet and do something. But
like the day that the strike was announced, the cast for Oppenheimer were in, I think, the UK for the premiere.
You wouldn't know.
And they left the premiere because the strike was announced in the US. So,
okay, wow.
Yeah.
But I'll say, like, I remember, and it wasn't meeting Linus Roach. Did you ever watch Law and Order? The Mothership, not SVU or SVU.
The original?
Yes.
Yeah. Back
everybody
in the day,
watched the original. Yeah.
With Sam, whatever.
Like he was Michael Cutter. He was one. He replaced.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember him.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. So So yeah, you met him. That you were starstruck.
I don't know who that man is, but okay.
Well, I was kind of starstruck because he was also on Vikings. So it was funny because you talk about the craft table. So union people, with their in SAG, they get certain benefits. So they as far as their pay, their amount of time they work, incentives, stipends, and even like as far as like when we break for lunch or dinner, they can eat first. So this was, we broke for dinner, but by the time non-union people could go back and eat, like all the chicken, like all the
all the good stuff's gone.
Good stuff is gone.
Yeah, y'all gonna get the hot salad.
Well, they have a lot of salad and rice and stuff like that, but like the chicken and the fish was gone.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I remember getting in the line, and Linus Roach was right next to me in line, like eating with just us regular people. He missed the chicken too. And so we both had a chuckle about that. And he was like, man, there's not a lot of pickings here. And I said, no. And I laughed. And so I told him, I said, I really miss you in Viking, even though we were on the same program.
Yeah, something else. Yeah.
And he said, yeah, that was a great show. And I said, yeah, the season premieres this week. And he said, okay, I have to check it out. And then we just, parted ways. But it was just like a regular conversation that you have with somebody in the food line.
Yeah, they're just people.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just people.
And so, and then when I was in the Walking Dead World Beyond, I was sitting right next to,
I can't remember her name.
oh, golly.
Yeah, I can't remember her name. What is it?
Julia.
Oh, yeah. She was the main character of the whole show for anybody who's watched that, who was...
Julia Ormond.
Yeah. At the very beginning, really through most of
the first episode is when I was in there. Yeah. So I sat next to her throughout that whole day that we were filming, and because she was part of the big speech that was happening, and I was like a dignitary on stage. So I was sitting next to her, and she was really nice, just very gracious. The lead actress in the role, during breaks would actually come over and talk to her, to Julia, and Julia would give her a little, she was like, does that sound okay? Or she'd give her, and she was just like, I was sitting right next to her, and we sit down, she would say hello. I mean, I wasn't trying to talk to her.
Yeah.
I did ask her if she, because it was raining that day, so some of the breaks were longer than others, and we're just sitting out in the rain. And I asked her if she had a chance to enjoy any of the sights of Richmond, and she said no. When she's working, she's studying her lines. So she said, no, I'm not sightseeing. I'm so she said, I'm here in the hotel, like working on my lines and stuff. And I was just like, of course, why would I even, why would I think she'd be on vacation?
I mean, no, I'm not saying like on vacation, but it's just like, we're not shooting you today, so it's your free day. I would think that she would want to go out
and I
do
think
stuff,
that, even with Homeland, like Claire Danes, when she was here, she was going to Proper Pie and ordering food. And even with Lincoln, when it was here, Daniel Day-Lewis was like going around like Lincoln, walking around everywhere and eating in restaurants because he is a method actor who always stay in character even when he's not on the screen. So
who was Daniel Radcliffe? There's like a lot of them that just come and they'll like do stuff. Like, was it Leslie? What's her name?
Who?
Leslie Jones.
Oh, Leslie Jones.
She came here and she was talking about Secret Service Society and like all the different places that she went to as far as food.
And Wanda Sykes about
foodie.
And Wanda Sykes about the Jefferson and the this ghost in the Jefferson that came into her room.
I think Michael Keaton was spotted around Richmond too when he was filming Dope Sick.
Don't say that. He's my boo. I needed to know
she's
that.
in love with the old Batman.
I love the first, well, not the first Batman, but the Michael Keaton Batman is my favorite Batman. And now knowing when Dee was talking about The Flash and how Michael Keaton was in it, I was like, why haven't I watched that yet? I need to see Michael Keaton in that. But I have to say with Dope Sick, and I know you can't talk so much about it, but for me personally, when I watched it, is that my heart just went out for his character. I was just sad. Like, oh my God, it was just so painful to watch the demise and just knowing how he just has a little tiny space in my heart. And then to know that just
you watched all of his movies?
It bothered me so much.
Have you watched all of his movies? Like
I haven't watched all of them, but I've watched.
You watched Duplicity, the one when he was
I did a long time ago.
It was weird.
It was weird. But I don't know. It's something about Michael Keaton. What can I say? Something about certain actors.
Okay.
Enough said.
Like Toby and Jeff Goldblum. Shout out to Jeff Goldblum.
Let's talk about
let's talk about
the love and fascination.
Love affair that is only in Toby's head.
With Jeff Goldblum.
If he met you, he would love you.
So first of all, I'm offended by the fact that everybody's jumping on the Jeff Goldblum bandwagon.
And you've been there.
I've been there since The Fly.
So since The Fly,
and even before that,
Earth Girls Are Easy,
right? Like when he laid.
I think that's probably the first movie.
When he was injured in Jurassic Park and he had to lay across that thing with his shirt open because he was injured. He was in so much pain.
Oh, really? You could feel it.
And you could feel it in your spirit.
But now everybody's like, oh, he was on Law and Order Criminal Intent. He's a jazz musician. He wears leather jackets and skinny pants. His hair is magnificent. And now everybody's talking about him. And it's like, okay, he's been this great guy.
Yeah. And don't forget the apartments.com commercials. Yeah, exactly.
Apartments.
I think some people feel as though he had to grow into his looks. So therefore, it's like back with The Fly.
The gray did help his image.
It made him a zaddy.
Made him a zaddy.
It made him a zaddy.
Capital
he
Z.
Was always a zaddy
in your mind.
Whatever they call people nowadays. He was always one.
Okay. Do you have a question for Tobalina?
Yes, Tobalina. Now, so when you have to show up to the set every day as an extra, or is it that they tell you, okay, you have to show up on this day, or like show up by this time, or like what? How does that work?
Pre-COVID, you showed up. They let you know because as an extra, I mean, there are extras that are like glorified extras like get FaceTime and everything and may have a line or something. Me, I'm just a regular extra. Yeah. So they would tell you, when to show up and, what kind of outfits you should bring with you because you're bringing your own wardrobe. Yeah. And then, bring 2 or 3 options, do your own makeup, and then this is what time you have to show up. So that's, what I would do. But then post-COVID, now you have to go in the day before to take a COVID test.
Okay.
And then go on the set, but then even that day you get on the set, you're still taking another COVID
Yeah, but
test.
to make sure that you don't have it. Okay, so it's
They're
very structured. Okay, okay.
And even like when you, like when we were doing Rustin in DC, we were on buses that would take us from
different places
to the Capitol,
okay,
to the monument, and you were on a signed bus.
Yeah.
So that way, if they had to do contact tracing,
they know where you were.
They knew what bus you were on.
It's like being in an elementary school. It's like, this is the safe zone for if we have a fire drill. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got you. Okay,
yeah, so it's a little different now because of COVID. And like, even if you like the, I had to go in a few times for fittings.
Oh, okay.
So, before you just show up for the fitting, now you have to, get a COVID test before you go in for your fitting.
Explain to me how a fitting works. Like, what do they do? They just be like, all right, try this on. All right, try this on.
Yeah, for Dope Sick, I was supposed to play a court reporter.
Yeah.
So when I went in,
and you did an excellent job at that too.
Well,
is that what was that you with the phone?
No,
that was Homeland.
That was Homeland.
That was Homeland. That's
right.
So
on Homeland, I was playing a reporter.
That's right. Yeah.
And they tell you what to wear. So the shirt that I originally had on and for that scene had stripes or something in it, and they said that it wouldn't show, the camera would make it look blurry.
Oh, okay.
So they gave me a
it.
solid color shirt to wear with the pants and the cardigan I already had. And then you of course you return it, before you leave.
What happens if you keep it?
Well, they have your ID, like.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they have everything. Like,
you can't. They have
this coming out your
They
check.
have your information. They don't want you.
But I thought this was for me. I thought y'all gave it to me.
Right. This is my shirt.
Yeah, this is my shirt.
I done sweated in this all day.
Yeah, you see the pit stains.
Right. Oh my God! When we were doing Rustin, that was in the summertime in DC when it was like 100 every day.
Oh God, that's horrible.
And so we were filming every day in the same outfit.
Yeah. But we can't talk much about that one because that one hasn't come out yet.
But I'll just say that dress that I had on, they had to, spray it down every night, and I put the same dress back on the next day.
Hey, you know what? That's the magic of showbiz. The magic of showbiz.
Yeah,
that's
quote
the smoke
unquote
and mirrors, guys.
Magic.
Right. You pull the smoke and mirrors, and what do you have? Febreze in the dress, so you can wear it 5 days in a row.
Right, but it was fresh every day.
I
got in there and I put it on, and it was like new.
It was like new. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool, and I would say just the experience, like learning and just seeing all the different aspects. It's not just the actors that are in front of the screen. It's the camera guys, the grips, the people that are setting it up, even the security people, like making sure we don't trip.
Oh yeah, over cord cables and stuff like that. Yeah, that's true.
When we were doing Swagger, it was in a gym, so they've got cameras all over the place, but we're sitting on bleachers like at a game, and their cords and stuff, and of course I tripped over one of the cords.
Oh, baby bones.
Yeah, one of the guys had to come over and grab my arm and everything, and I was like, I'm okay, because I will injure myself. But so it's just everybody plays a part, and it's just fascinating. I think I can say this without it causing any problem because they've posted on their website, but for Swagger, they've got a video. You can go to their Twitter page and look at it. But when they're showing the basketball games, like those kids are really playing for real.
Oh yeah.
It's not staged.
So
or edited.
I know
they're really playing, and they have this guy on rollerblades
who's just filming it.
Who's filming
back
it,
and forth.
And
he's skating back and forth.
Right.
Yeah,
when they do the big jump shots, he's going up on the ramp. So that's all public. Because it's on their page. But just to see all of that from behind the scenes, I'm hooked.
Yeah. So like I know this guy. Shout out to Barney. He actually built the sets for Swagger. So like, I don't know if he said it was something like they had used the school for something, and then they had to turn the school into like a terminal or something like that, and it turned into something else. He was just like, oh yeah, I just like put stuff together and take it apart and make it something else.
That's the fascinating part for me. Like, if I could do something behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's what he does. That's what he does.
God, that would be just so great.
Yeah, that does seem kind of cool though. Yeah.
Well, and I was going to say, as you talk talk about just all those people behind the scenes. And that's the whole purpose of the strike, really, when you think about it, is that, the main actors, your George Clooney's, your Brad Pitt's, your Idris Elba's, your whoever, like they're making money, whatever. But these people who are doing all this work behind the scenes, they're the grips, they're the caterers, they're, just doing all these things. They're not getting paid what they should be getting paid. Some of them, they don't have benefits or they don't have really good benefits. Like there's so many things that go into why they are, because some people might be like, it's the fall, I'm supposed to have new content, I'm supposed to have new shows that I can watch, and it's almost like, well, you have to realize these people are just fighting for the bare minimum.
They just fighting to pay their bills,
and a lot of these networks are making billions and billions and billions of dollars off of the hard blood, sweat, and tears of the people. Yes, it's the actors too, but it's also the people who are behind the scenes and are doing all the work. So continue to fight the good fight to everybody who is participating in the strikes. I know that in California, they're in front of various big places.
New York.
Yep, in New York, they're just out in the street and every day, and you'll have, super famous people with the extras, with the micro famous people, I guess you would call them, and they're just all out there together.
The D-classers.
Yeah, exactly. So, just all out there trying to do what they can do to get the executives to do what they need to do right by the people. And the unfortunate part is that these executives are just basically like, let them starve. Let them. They're just not even trying to give up anything of their power.
Yeah, it's very telling too, because a lot of the problem is with these streaming services. I just got an email from Hulu. They're raising my...
Yeah, Hulu's going up. Everything's going up. Disney Plus is going up.
Well, we're
Disney
not talking about the streaming services, because in this episode, we are anti-streaming services.
No, we talking about how the prices have gone up.
No,
this is part of the problem.
The part of the problem.
It's a very convoluted situation that I don't think when TV first came about and these contracts first came about, like who knew that streaming or that these other venues
was going to be something
a thing,
all that perpetuity stuff. It's like, does that include the streaming? I mean, what's going to be the next thing? Is it going to be like a chip in your brain, you should be able to tap it and watch?
It's going to be AI. That's the thing too.
That's what they're already starting to now.
Issue with the actors is that they're wanting to ensure that their likeness isn't going to be AI, and therefore going to have it where, like in that Black Mirror, you don't have to have Salma Hayek there. You can have somebody else, or like an AI that is Salma Hayek to do everything. So
I watched the Star Wars different series, and they just showed Anakin Skywalker.
Oh, they just made Anakin Skywalker again?
Yeah, he's just, it's his voice, but it's, it's the young Anakin Skywalker from the Star Wars.
And that kid has to be how old now? Like,
he's in his
30-something?
I don't know, 40s, 50s.
Yeah,
but
30,
anyway,
40.
it's like it wasn't, so
he got to be
AI
like
is
around my
very,
age, maybe.
Even if you look at the new Indiana Jones.
Oh,
movie, they start out with him as young. And it's the AI. And
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, CGI is starting the AI and all that stuff.
You can see that it's not his face when they do the
fight scenes.
Yeah, so it's
sense.
all, but it's like with I watch The Closer every day and Major Crimes. And you think these are still very popular shows, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That come on every day. But now that they're on streaming services, is Rusty still getting a residual? Is Deputy Chief Brenda Lee Johnson still getting,
Toby, that sounds like you need to have your podcast about all these shows that you're watching. You can do a podcast about inside the back. The background, the scenes behind the scenes.
She can pick the scenes apart and be like, okay, did you see how this happened on this one? Just take notes and be like,
I got
so if you're
question.
watching an episode on episode 5 of season 3 at the 21-minute mark, you will see where they messed up something in editing.
Yeah, you could do that.
I do that all the time.
You just might as well just put it on a podcast.
That's what because Randall blames me for his
Shout out to Randall, who is Toby's son.
Yeah, because we've been going to the movies together since he was 3.
Yeah.
So when we talk about movies, I'm like, man, Randall, you really dug into that, and he's like, it's your fault. 'Cause whenever we go, we have conversations about it all this time. So now he looks at them analytically the same way I do.
Down. Okay,
so we enjoy them, but we also look at analytically, like what it means, who wrote it, who was produced it. What was their motivation behind them putting their name
really
behind?
Deep.
Yeah, we go really deep on it.
Okay. Yeah, that's really, really deep.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot.
Oh, I was wondering what Sestra's question was, but she forgot.
I'll see if it comes back. I don't think it's going to come back.
All right.
No, it's not coming back.
Okay. Well, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say no.
I do want to bring Toby back so we can talk about Toby's life, because that is going to be a New York Times best-selling podcast, even though you don't have to pay for it. It's going to be the best.
I mean, I think it's great. I mean, hey, I will say that my friend Toby, that I've known for 15 years now, roughly. Yeah, 15 years. I will say she is one of the strongest people I know, one of the sweetest, caring, most loyal people that I know, and also is someone who, when you think of like a super mom and someone who just does the most for her son and has his entire life, this is her. Like, I love you to pieces.
Thank you. I love you guys too. And even though I'm not an official Sestra, I do claim
you could be a step Sestra.
Right, I do claim both.
You could be our step Sestra.
Okay,
we gotta get shirts made to say Sestra, step Sestra.
I'm aware of pride.
There you go. Wonderful.
I love that.
Well, thank you for the interview. We're going to come back to you shortly to find out what one of your top picks is for a episode or show or whatever that you want to talk about. So exciting times. So I think...
Are you going first?
I'll jump in. So I am going to just start with some hot topics. I think one of them is Jimmy Fallon and his toxic work environment.
Why does everybody have a toxic work environment?
And
you love them when you look at them on the box, right? You look at them on the TV. Oh my God, they look so awesome. And then it's like, no, this person is the devil.
Yeah, it's horrific.
Ellen and now
I'm always surprised, though, why other people are surprised. Like, you can see
but I'm not surprised
like,
at
even
all,
the games that he plays when he's, the things he says. Like, I would always wonder why people are surprised.
I think because he laughs, he jokes, he's ha 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 ha. But then he'll smash an egg in your face, or he'll, do certain things.
But they said that it was because of alcohol, right? They said he was drunk all the time.
Yes, they have said that they feel as though alcohol is a contributing factor to his toxicity, as well as the fact of him falling twice. Once was during the Saturday Night Live 40th reunion or something. Where he fell out.
You talking about when Prince was performing?
When Prince was there, yeah. Exactly.
Yes, because everybody was toe up. Have you not seen the videos? Everybody's eyes are red and
it was a mess then. Then the other thing is when, remember, he almost took his finger off in his house. So when he fell in his house, do y'all know that? Oh yeah. When he fell in his house,
but he was drunk.
He was drunk supposedly, and his ring was on his finger
and
got caught on the island in the kitchen, and it pulled all the skin basically off of his finger, and it was just
happens
all bone,
a lot to
which does happen to people, and so therefore, based on that, what ended up happening is that he had to be in the thing, and he still can't function his finger. But anyway, so I just wanted to quickly highlight. He's got a toxic work environment. He was on vacation. The news story came out. He was like, well, I guess I need to come back from vacation and to talk to people. So he held a meeting, and that's that. The other thing I was going to talk about is the MTV Music Awards.
Yes.
So those took place. And T Swift was the huge winner of the night. She won 9 awards.
T Swift. Are y'all friends?
I'm a Swiftie. No, I'm really not. I rarely know any. I mean, probably 2 of her songs. But anyway, so I don't know. I know Bad Blood. And
baby, know we got bad blood.
Okay. Yeah. And then
Karma? I like Karma.
Never heard of it.
Karma's my boyfriend on the weekend. Karma is my cat in my lap.
Nope.
He loves me.
No.
What? I don't know. Did you just make that up? Karma is my cat in my lap because it loves me.
Okay, that is exactly sounds like it was made up.
Wait a minute, let me look up and make sure I got the lyrics right. But
It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter because
I love that though. I love that.
No.
Okay.
I know.
I know a few of her songs. But
I know
like her
the
party songs.
style. The one that she was like, I forgot what it's called, but someone with style.
I know
and the one that was Bad Blood. And it doesn't matter. Regardless, T Swift, Beyonce, they're the queens of the summer, basically.
Yeah. And they're saving the American economy.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
And so the other thing is Nikki Minaj hosted it. So she came out of wherever, because I feel like she's been in hiding or something. Like she had a baby or babies.
She hasn't been in hiding. She's
I just don't feel like
but she's just not as mainstream because like they're pushing other artists,
newer ones.
Yeah,
exactly. So maybe that's that. You had Insync reunion, which nobody knew about, or people were kind of rumbling about, hey, we've seen them together in a certain area of New York City or something like that. Like, what's going on with the NSYNC guys? So all of them, including Justin, which you haven't seen Justin with the rest of NSYNC since 1990. I mean, it's been a while.
I think Justin's struggling.
He looks rough.
He looks rough. And
I don't know. Maybe Jessica Biel is about to leave him.
He does. He's not aging well. I'm sorry.
At all. He has big circles under his eyes. He looks like he's been drinking all day.
And then he hasn't had a big hit in a while. So he attached himself to Coco Jones' new song.
He did, but him and Timbaland and Nelly Furtado had a song
they're coming out with something.
I don't know if it's an album or a song.
He's doing collabos again with black artists to get him back to his black status.
His 2020 experience.
Yeah. So sorry.
Which I did love that album, by the way. So I had it on heavy rotation. Yeah. That was the name of it was called the 2020 Experience. As long as I got my suit and tie. That was the name of the album. It was 20/20. It wasn't like it was like Sight 2020 versus actual 2020. Yeah. No.
Remake it?
No.
Remaster?
Nope. So everybody's just so used to hearing about 2020 because of COVID that everybody just automatically think because your site is 2020 too, and nobody thinks about that anymore.
About that. And then the TV show 2020. Did that still
2020, Nightline, all that.
Barbara Walters still alive?
No,
she died
recently.
Okay. Oh, she did.
Yeah, she died. I don't know, months ago. Yeah, because everybody was coming together.
Barbara Walters.
I think I rest in peace. Rest in peace is her. From
rest in peace to her.
Rest in peace to her. Yeah. But anyway, we had LL Cool J who was doing his tribute to the 50th anniversary of hip hop. So he performed, but he was really, I think, the only performer for hip hop, which I'm like, for MTV, they should have had more than just one person. They weren't going
to do that because they did it on the BET Awards.
Yeah, but still. And then Diddy actually performed too, but I don't think it was for the 50th anniversary.
Perform with Diddy?
I did not see that.
I heard that his son performed with Diddy and did Mace's part.
I just saw like a couple of clips of it. I stopped watching those shows
eons ago.
And I'm not going to watch them until Brandy gets her Video Vanguard Award or her
Lifetime Achievement Award.
They gave it to Shakira. I saw on the news.
Yes, I was going to say Shakira was on there too.
I'm boycotting all of them until Brandy gets hers.
And Brandy, because
I just think she, has not gotten the accolades that she needs. Her voice is tremendous. She's been in the game a long time.
But she killed somebody.
What?
Oh, did she?
Yeah,
that's right. Did she
hit a car accident? I mean, accidentally.
Yeah.
Sorry, allegedly. But yeah, she did have a car accident. But I'm just wondering if that has played a part into her not getting the accolades is because of that accidental accident.
To that person's,
yeah. But I'm just saying, I just don't know if sometimes when things like that happen, right? Like Will Smith will never be able to get anything else because of politics of the slap. So yeah, exactly. So I don't know.
That's true. I think that people love Will Smith.
They do.
People love Will Smith.
love Will Smith. So you're right. It could change.
They're going to make a 6 Degrees of Separation too.
No, I don't know. Coming out with whatchamacallit too.
Because you were in the movie field. Let's come on.
No, it's when he was alone with the dog.
I Am Legend.
Yeah.
I Am Legend too.
I did hear about that, but I didn't know if that was real or not.
I think it's real. And then Bad Boy. So he's got stuff in the works.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Okay. And so the other thing, I will say I was surprised that so many people showed up for it. Like, because normally everybody just calls it in. Like nobody
for what?
for the MTV Music Awards. Sorry, I'm going back to that. Like it was just like, oh, this person showed up and that person showed up and this person, who knew? And then the other thing is Ashanti. So Ashanti showed up and she basically had a purse with Nelly and her on the purse that she had made because now they're dating again officially.
Okay.
Allegedly, officially. And so therefore, based on that, she had on her like Instagram or whatever to say, this is a picture from us at our first MTV Music Awards where we exchanged numbers for the very first time. So she had a picture of the two of them
that's cute.
from on the purse
Poor Irv
that
Gotti.
went with her outfit. And anyway, the girl's in love. She's been in love with Nelly since,
And Irv Gotti been in
20
love with her
years.
since Jerry's Kids.
but he said he won't. He's done. He said he was done. On Drink Champs. He said it.
Yeah, and then he brought her back up.
Right.
Because then Nori was like, but I didn't bring her up though, but
He's
you
not
did.
done.
Yeah, he's not done.
Yeah, and I think people have started spreading rumors that Nelly and Ashanti have broken up. Like their romance was reconnection was short-lived. So I think that's why she brought the purse to be like, no, we're still
Oh,
good
we're
up.
still good.
Got
that's
it.
good.
Makes
sold,
sense.
he just sold half of his catalog for $50 million.
Did hear about that.
I hear a lot of people selling their
I would
catalogs.
be able to get a purse too.
Now, what is that? Why will people sell their catalogs?
Because they want the money and don't want to go on tour.
Okay.
So if you want the money and your catalog is worth something, then you saw the Beatles sold theirs, Taylor Swift sold hers, Kelly Clarkson sold hers. Like everybody's selling their catalogs. I mean, they've been doing it forever. And so
It's
it's
the same thing as the Masters? No?
I honestly, I don't know if it's exactly the same, but
know what that means,
regardless,
like
I know that
catalog.
you make a ton of money and you don't have to necessarily, especially if it's things that you have written and things of that nature, but
Yeah.
you don't have to, because that's the whole thing is like you make money as an artist on the road.
Yeah.
Like that's where you make the money because you're
Yeah.
not making it from streaming anymore. Like streaming is like, at least albums used to make you more money. CDs, a little bit. Streaming, it's like basically everybody's getting a lot of that for free.
Yeah,
So therefore it's like you're not making money as the artist. So to make the money, you do a tour. So that's why Beyonce does it every, 5 years. And it's like, okay, time for another tour. Cher. They retire. Then they come back, So the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, Journey,
everybody.
whoever.
Yeah, some of them are better off because they are write and produce. Like
okay,
Prince
written
wrote
and produced, yeah.
and probably played most of the instruments.
Yeah, he played all of his
so
instruments, I
he was
believe.
getting paid off of all of that. But like when people play to the left, when Beyonce sings that,
Yeah.
Neo gets paid.
Yeah, I did know that. Yeah.
Because he wrote it. So I think a lot of these artists, are just trying to cash out.
Yeah.
While they're still on top.
I get
And
it.
then
It's like
others
stock
are-
market. So
Yeah,
well,
are
I'm up,
touring
might as well go ahead and
because that's
sell
how
it.
they make their money.
Yeah,
if
well,
they
that
haven't
doesn't make sense.
actually written or produced their own stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just looked it up. It says the catalog stores the name and location of the data of information, whereas the master, it's like, I don't know. It's saying something. I don't know.
think
It's
the
like
master
different.
is what like the original. Like if I made like you guys made
Like the
you made
original.
this on a cassette.
Yeah. That's the
Or
original.
something. That's the original. I think. But
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think that that's too much. But okay,
Yeah.
that's cool.
my music career hasn't kicked off yet.
Oh
so I
yeah.
don't know all
Because
of
you're
it.
still working on your acting career.
I'm
I
still
know.
working,
I know.
yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
Gotcha.
No, you,
But
you
yeah.
and T Swift. You gonna be a future Swifty. You and T Swift gonna match up, make a song.
I want to be a writer. I
Okay,
mean, and a rapper.
Yeah,
So I
okay,
can-
all right. Hey, give you one
Rapping
margarita.
is,
All
you
right.
know.
If y'all can see my eyeballs right now. So moving on. No, have your lofty
What
goals, girlfriend.
DJ Baby Bones on the
Oh my
one
God.
and two?
And the 1 and 2. What?
Well, are you
Yeah.
guys going to say why I'm baby bones? Because it's
Oh.
She's brittle. She needs to have a bubble around her at all times. That is the
She
reason
is
why.
our bubble girl. Yeah. So you move a table, you get a bruise. You walk too hard or too long, you break your foot.
Yeah. You go and step on some stairs. Now your ankle's broken.
or at least swollen.
Yeah, swollen. Yeah.
So this is baby bones. That's why we
baby
call her
bones.
baby bones because it's always something
No,
that just
it
seems
happens.
to just go awry.
I know.
And it's like, oh, you bumped into that table just like walking to go to
Yeah,
the
and you-
bathroom or
yeah, you don't
something.
even
It's like,
notice it.
Oh my God, yeah, like I just hit.
And then
I
it's like,
grazed
oh, what
it.
happened to you?
And it
Like,
looks
yo,
like she's
who
been
beat
in a
your
car
tail?
accident.
Yeah, who beat you? We
Looks
gotta
like she's
find
been-
them. It's just like, no, I just bumped to a table. How hard was you walking when you bumped
Not
into a
hard
table?
at all. That's just her baby bones.
when we were in Vegas at the pool. and I hit that chair.
Oh yeah, we knew then. We were already.
Oh,
And
God.
like I'm watching it. Actually, this is my first time actually seeing it all in
Seeing it
action
all-
and not
all
hearing about
slowly
it later.
get
and then by
bruised
the
up.
time we left, the bruise was.
Oh God.
It is
Yeah.
the craziest thing for sure. So
Yeah.
So yes, thank you for having us to explain to the listeners.
Absolutely.
The baby bones phenomenon. So sis, what you got?
All right, so what I want to talk about is, so I was looking at this TikTok. Now, the name of this TikTok is JOE.IE. So I don't know if it's Joey or whatever it is. But so this is actually, these people are in, let me see. So it says Charlie and his friends dug a hole in Portmarnack Beach last week and caught the attention of a local resident who thought he had encountered an astronomical background. Oh, he has an astronomical background, which led to the hole making the national news. So you gotta. So this is.
I'm
this
so
is-
confused.
So these guys went to a beach in Scotland or something like that. I can't remember what it was.
Okay.
And they dig a hole, and the hole's pretty big and deep. Like you see the guy in there.
Oh, yeah.
He's in the
All
hole.
right. Yeah.
They leave the beach. Somebody walks along the beach in the morning and says, "Oh my God,
An
an asteroid
asteroid or
came
something.
down and hit."
Yeah.
So it's like, bro, we dug a hole and now it's made national news. So as I'm like watching this, I'm like, this cannot be actual national news. So this is just him. He's just digging the hole out. And everybody just standing around watching him. You know, it's probably about 3
Thanks,
feet
Bernard.
deep.
Now, finally, for now, a mysterious hole on a beach has caused a stir in North Dublin. A local astronomy enthusiast is hoping the crater in Portmarnock could be the aftermath of a cosmic event.
Oh my God.
It's horrible.
It's a huge, mysterious crater that looks out of this world. But is it? The unusual hole on Portmarnock Beach stopped local astrophysics enthusiast Dave Kennedy in his tracks yesterday, and he's certain the small but heavy rock inside it came from up above.
As you can tell by here, there's a scorch mark on this side here, so that would have been at the angle that
How
it
you
came
making
down
stuff
at.
up?
And it is
That's
weighty.
so
I'm not sure if it's
terrible.
composition, but we're definitely going to have to find
I
out.
think he's in on
The
it.
striking hole soon caught the attention of passers-by, many hoping that what they're witnessing is the
Ancient
aftermath
alien
of a
theorists.
once-in-a-lifetime
Can we
cosmic
credit that?
event.
It is credit to what? The name?
No,
of
I
it?
was saying, the name of where you're finding. Is that
Yeah,
on TikTok?
it's on TikTok.
Okay.
It's JOE.IE. It's the page.
If somebody wanted to
so,
look
yeah.
at the video.
If somebody, yeah. It's wait, that looks
It's like
different.
those people that make those crop circles.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like that. So, but this guy, like, and if you look at the video, he's like showing people, he's holding up this rock, and he's like, yeah, you can see like right here where it was like coming down, and this is like where the force was sliding it, and that's why this side is so smooth, because that was all the breaking through the Earth's atmosphere. It's like, bro, what are you talking about? These people dug this hole out earlier. They probably just wanted to pee.
Well, not that big of a hole for that. But the other thing, what if that rock did fall before they dug the hole and then the sand just covered it? Okay, I'm just saying.
What are you talking about? You know what?
I'm saying, what if it had happened prior to?
Right, like why did they pick that spot to dig the hole?
Oh, they just were at the beach and dug a hole.
Okay.
Right.
They were, but then the guy said he found a rock in it, but they don't say if they put a rock in it or not.
Right, exactly, because that's where I was
I
trying to
think
figure out
this
where
man's
did the
just
rock come
saying
from.
that.
It's
I
just
think the
saying,
man's just saying that.
He's just like, ooh, a big hole. I have a rock at home.
Yeah.
Let me act like I found
Yeah,
this
like
rock
look
in
at
the
this
hole.
rock right here. Maybe it's trying to make its way back to the galaxy.
So he's no Giorgio Tsoukalos.
I have no idea who that is, but no, he is not. No, Georgiou Suka. Oh, the guy with the
Ancient
crazy
aliens
hair.
with the crazy hair, yeah.
And the lip plumper. Yeah,
Y'all,
yeah.
welcome to my life, because what was it, last weekend? Toby was like, guess what, Lenora? I have to rush home. We were at dinner on Friday night.
Yes.
And, Friday happy hour. And she was like, I have to rush home because Ancient Aliens is coming on.
Yeah, I like Ancient
Who's the
Aliens.
season premiere?
I do like Ancient Aliens, though.
Yes, but who makes it a event to I have to be home, I have to be in my PJs, in my bed,
If you want-
watching the Ancient Aliens.
I know
because,
people-
yeah.
but
and,
see, I know
and then
people like that.
I see her Saturday morning and she was like, everything he said is right. He's just been proven right. The government has said there's UFOs. Like everything is okay. And I'm just like, okay, yeah.
But he's right, though. There are aliens. Didn't you see that should have been on your hot topics? The little aliens in Mexico.
Yes, they show pictures of
They
them.
show
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen? Okay, when we done with this, we'll talk about it
Yeah,
next
so
week.
next
then.
week you have
Next
to talk
week.
Next
about
week we
the
can talk
aliens.
about the baby aliens.
And I will come back and talk about aliens. You know, that's my life.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I love it.
I can't.
But,
okay.
but yeah, so
I can't with you.
go into if you want to go into TikTok to see it, like I said, it's JOE.IE, and once you see the video, let me see. I think it's the first video that is on their page. If I can unlock my phone.
Okay.
It's actually the second video on their page. So,
Gotcha.
oh,
Okay.
actually, wait, it's two videos on their page that talk about it, because another one says, "Have Indians landed in a hole in Dublin?"
Oh my gosh.
So everybody's talking about
About the
this
hole,
hole
yeah.
that a man dug.
Now
that's
I'm
it.
taking this more seriously.
Okay, so you know what we
Oh,
need to do
it's going to
now?
be a conspiracy theory
Next
now.
time that we all go on vacation, I'm gonna dig the biggest hole,
Oh yeah.
and then Toby, I need you to tell people that an alien landed and you saw them.
I've actually been on Amazon looking for metal detectors.
Okay, yeah, we can do that.
So
We
we
can
can
do
go,
it. Yeah, we
okay.
can find
Okay, so we are going to move on to
love it. I
the
love
next and potentially final topic of the
yeah,
evening.
okay. Tobelina.
Yes, so Tobalina, which is a nickname and potentially a drink named after her in New Orleans.
Would that be part of my life story? How
Yeah.
That's could be. Oh my God, that could be. That's gonna be the when you write a book about your life, you gotta call it Tobelina, and then put illustrated by Baby Bones, and then just draw a stick figure in there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yes, but yeah, that's a whole other story of how we got a drink named the Tobalina. But anyway, so tell us about what your top TV show, movie, whatever it is that you would like to talk about today.
All right, so I'm going to talk about Average Joe,
Okay.
which is a show on BET Plus.
Yes.
They've already wrapped the 10 episodes. And it's actually the writer, whose name is Rob Cullen. It's based on true events in his life.
I didn't know that.
But Rob won't say which of the events.
Are true and which
Right,
ones
so
aren't.
just the basic premise, I think, might be...
Oh, so but I wonder if it's about his dad.
Right, but he dramatized, it's
It's a dramatization about it. But still.
Right, so the show is Average Joe, which is Joe. That's his name, Joe, who was a plumber.
Yeah.
He's just an average Joe. Got a wife, a daughter, two best friends, and his father dies. And he finds out after his father dies that his father was in bed with the Russian mob. And that he had actually stolen $10 million and a car from them.
And a Lamborghini.
And a Lamborghini.
Of all cars. Okay.
And a Lamborghini.
And so that's how it starts. And the mafia, of course, thinks that Joe is privy to his father's dealings, his business, where this money is. And they come after Joe and his family in an effort to try to get this money back. So it's labeled as a dark comedy because there's so many funny scenes in there.
Oh, it is. It kind of reminds me of how Barry is. Have you ever seen Barry on Max on HBO?
Yeah, Barry is
It's
good.
like that because
Henry
it's like
Winkler, you gotta love it.
because it's like somebody dies and then it's like that's the funniest death scene I've ever seen in my life. It took that person 45 minutes to fall down those stairs, but it's dark humor, which I love.
Yeah, so this one's definitely dark because his friends are just as wacky.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes,
absolutely.
Kathy is my girl.
Yeah, Kathy's your girl. Okay, I thought she would be like, okay, I already know
first
that my
the jury-
sister would hate Kathy. She'd be like, Kathy, I watched the show, I didn't like it until Kathy.
I hated her the first 3 episodes.
Until she was a ride or die.
And then when all of a sudden Kathy started coming up with the idea, she started being like, I'm going to take care of this.
Kathy was extremely horny when Death was around. I don't understand that.
She's a psychopath.
Oh, absolutely.
Right, but I like that
she's a psychopath.
I like that about her. Because she used it to her advantage and her benefit. She made her, psychopathy.
Yeah. And but you know what she is a hustler. She hustled the whole time. Yeah. the whole
And her
time.
husband, bless his heart, Leon.
I know, that poor thing.
He was so funny. Like, they literally be in the middle of somebody shooting at them.
Yeah, yeah.
And he would comment on their outfit. Or,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
a nice gun. Where did you get that?
Yeah, it's like,
I remember
what-
my grandmother, and the people are like, literally, I'm trying to kill you right now. What are you talking about,
Exactly,
dude?
yeah. He was a little out there.
Yeah,
Very
he was
out
good.
there.
And then, so basically, it just, with this the Russian mafia, and they had Pashka Lynchkanov as played Nikolai.
Yeah,
the Russian-
Nikolai, yeah.
And he's been in so many different things.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
so
absolutely.
good. Comedies, drama.
Does he always play a Russian?
Yeah.
I think he does, yeah. He
Yeah.
might be Russian or something like that. I don't know. Sure.
But so it's
Maybe
so it's
Bosnian.
the daughter is entangled with the Russian family.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. The daughter is.
was they didn't realize was entangled
Yeah.
with the Russian family. So the Russian family's coming after him, his daughter, his wife. They
It's basically two families against each other. A black family and a Russian family against each other. But the black family's like, bruh, I don't know nothing about what y'all got going on.
Right.
Okay.
they're trying to
And the Russian family like, yes, you did. So go ahead and like give me what I want.
Yeah.
Or
And they're
else-
like, what do you want?
they're like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Where am I supposed to find this?
and
they're
then
just like,
they
"You gonna find
thought there was money. And
Yeah,
they,
yeah.
they thought it was money,
Yeah.
but it ended up being. Or do we use spoiler alerts?
Well, don't say what
Yeah,
it
you
is.
do.
Yeah, we don't give anything away. We don't give
Yeah,
anything
so then
away.
people will watch it.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right. So I
exactly.
just want
Yeah.
to just double check.
But you know what, Nina? There is a twist that I want to talk to you about after we get off of here. That this could actually be something that would happen in our life.
Ooh,
Yes.
dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
And the way they ended it, I think they set it up for a
Yeah, for
sequel.
season
Because
2. Yeah,
something happens where Leon
Yeah.
opens the door, or not Joe.
Yeah, opens the door,
And he's
yeah.
like, "What the f?"
yeah, exactly.
And
So
then who knows?
and then you don't know what's happening.
Joe is played by Dion Cole, right?
Right,
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and so I almost didn't watch it because I
Dion
like
Cole?
Dion Cole as a comedian.
But you don't like him
I
as an
thought
actor?
he was just a comedian, and I was like, "Oh, is this some comedy show?"
You
with
never
Dion
watched
Cole?
him on Blackish?
I did,
Okay, but he was just kind of like a fill-in person.
fill
he
in
wasn't
person,
always
right?
in there. Yeah.
And so again, Randall, he was like, "Mom, it's different than what you think. You should
Yeah.
really watch."
Yeah. It's
Because I
good.
like Dion Cole a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Kind
I
of like we're telling you with The Shy.
yeah,
Yeah,
And
exactly.
And she hasn't watched it.
and I haven't watched it either.
You gotta watch the shot. You
Yeah,
gotta watch
and
the shot.
so I was like, all right, and it just really turned. It's one of the best shows out there.
Oh yeah, it's good. It is good. It is
And
good
it
because
did-
I watched I watched it all the way through. I watched the whole thing.
Yeah, it was very good,
Yeah.
well written, smart dialogue.
Yeah.
Even the action scenes were kind of semi believable.
You know what?
Even though they were funny.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
the
yeah, it's
dialogue
true.
was smart.
You know what kind of got me, which made me feel some type of way? When I first watched it, I was like, man, why are they gonna make it seem like we would do some stuff like this? And I was like, oh wait, we would. We don't trust the police. That's right. Yeah, no, we would do some stuff.
well, and the police officer in it.
I know. Yeah, Hutch is in it.
Trust-
Hutch is supposed to be telling everybody what's going on.
Right.
Hutch is helping.
He's totally unreliable.
Yeah, but
so-
Hutch got some demons.
His touch.
Touch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Touch.
Touch got some demons. Touch does have some demons that
And
he
there's
is
a
fighting.
cliffhanger about Touch.
Yeah.
There's a cliffhanger about Kathy.
Yeah, there's a cliffhanger about the with the lady with that's in
Russian
prison.
mob.
The lady in prison.
Yeah, there's a
The
cliffhanger
lady
about her.
in prison?
There's a cliffhanger about the mafia lady.
Yeah, the mafia lady too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so there's-
So there definitely will be a second season if
Well,
people are
if-
watching.
I mean, if the writers get off a strike.
Yeah, but I mean, like basically, it's set up for a true
I mean, yeah,
second
it's
season.
set up for it, but you also don't know like what's going to happen because it could be like, oh yeah, well no, we only just approved it for this one time just to see how it's going to go.
One thing I hope doesn't happen is I don't like when a show comes out and they're really good and they have
Yes.
a winning formula, but because they're so good, they try to add on
Try
to it and
too
change
much.
it, and they do too much.
You know what did that for me? Quantico. Quantico did that.
Whatchamacallit did that for me. Scandal did that for me.
I never
Oh
watched
no,
it.
I watched that all the way
Well,
through.
no, because I stopped watching it because Olivia was a floozy. But
Ooh, not a floozy.
yeah,
Can we explain to people, just our younger audience that might be out there, what a floozy is?
a strumpet.
What is a strumpet? For our young...
Again, everybody, welcome to my life.
Okay, can we put this? Let me get
Into
the clips.
kindergarten words.
I am.
A harlot?
So we're using Bible school
She
words.
was an adulterer who was sleeping.
She
with
was.
the president.
She was a
She was-
gardening tool.
She was the side chick. Let's just say it.
Right.
that
She was
way.
a gardening tool.
But look,
She was a gardening tool.
She was a trick. She was.
That's my opinion. That's
She
why I
was-
stopped
yeah.
watching it.
Okay, yeah.
Because she made it popular. Her and Camilla Parker Bowles are the two people that made it popular. and
Okay, to be the
acceptable
side
to
chicks.
Be a side chick. And so that's why I had to stop watching.
Well, everybody is side chicks now. I feel like, and there's songs about I
Right.
left home to be with my side.
But see, that's that's kind of where it started.
That's what they
Camilla Parker
perpetuated.
Bowles
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
started it as a side chick, and now she's Queen Regent. So they feel like they can get somewhere with it by
Okay.
being a side chick. So that's why I had to stop watching.
So you were done with
Scandal.
I get that.
because,
I understand.
Of that, but that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, that's what happens though. That's what happens when you're on this podcast.
with
Sestra-Tainment.
Yeah,
We had mom
exactly.
on, and mom was trying to be a professional. She was like, hello. I was
Yeah,
like,
she was
you don't even
talking
talk
all
that
like,
way.
and we were like, "Can you just be
You just
yourself,
be
please?"
yourself. She was like, yes, and I love the show. I'm like, that is not how you talk, woman.
Yeah, we were talking about Manifest. That was her show.
It was Manifest and the lady, the cleaner.
oh, the cleaning lady.
cleaning,
Yeah,
yeah, whatever that one was.
Finally
Yeah.
finished Manifest because people have been talking about it, and I finally was like, okay, I'll watch it, and I watched it.
Yeah, you're not feeling it.
I was so disappointed.
I know. I don't like Manifest either. I watched the first one. I was like, ooh, this is
watched
good.
all the seasons.
I watched the first season. I was, this is good. This is good. And I was like, okay, this
By
is getting
season
dumb. now.
3,
Yeah, I agree. I think Manifest was one of those shows. Honestly, for me, I liked the premise of it from the beginning. In the first season.
yeah.
I hated the acting.
The
acting,
you
I was
did.
just
Yeah,
like,
you
oh
liked
my
it.
God, they are so horrible. Like, not all of them were horrible, but the main girl, Michaela, she was so terrible.
Maybe
and I
that's
was
what's
like, but
my
then
issue.
as the seasons got better, as the seasons got worse, her acting got better.
Oh, she
So
started
then
taking
it was like the
classes.
storyline didn't have a landing,
Yeah.
but then her acting at least got better. So I was like, I don't know. So anyway, I still have the last season that came out on Netflix. I guess the final season to watch.
Yeah.
So
I think that remember I was telling you about the Tay Diggs show that I wanted to watch.
yeah,
the
that you
movie?
said is horrific.
And I was like, I cannot watch this. It was horrible, but I think it's the acting. The acting is horrible. I don't know the name of
when he
it.
has out with April Jones.
I don't know what her name is. The light skinned lady?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have not seen it. I didn't.
I started watching it. I was like, this is
Well,
not
she
good.
used to be on Love and Hip Hop. She was dating Omarion or something.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Oh,
I
She
remember
okay.
came from that world.
So that's
her
why
acting,
it should have been on Tubi. You right? It
Yeah.
should have been on Tubi.
Tubi.
You had said that. I remember. Did I say that or did you say it? I think I might have said that. I think this should
yeah, we were
should have
talking
been
about
on
because
Tubi.
I ended up watching something else, and I was like, "How is this not on Tubi?"
Yeah.
But I'm going to talk about that at another time,
Okay.
so I'm not going to spoil that one.
right,
So, anywho, but yeah, so we got a few minutes left. What I wanted to hit on is a really quick other hot topic, just because it is truly right now off the presses that my good friend Toby sent me a link to. I think you were the one that sent me the link, was Shirley Strawberry
Oh, yes.
and the Strawberry Letter with
I
Steve
heard about
Harvey.
that. Yeah. With Steve Harvey.
And so I just wanted to quickly bring up that, so I guess it was a week or so ago that Shirley
do her voice.
Strawberry, she has a wonderful voice.
No, she's like, oh.
She sounds amazing.
And she
as
talks,
she talks
and she's
about
like, and
everything.
then we're gonna read
And
this
so,
one.
yes, exactly. And so anyway, so Shirley Strawberry ended up, her husband was in prison. Nobody really knew he was in prison.
Her husband was in prison. I didn't know her husband was in
Since
prison.
last July. And so let me tell you, Toby, you sent me on a rabbit hole chase. I'm just saying, I have done a lot
Rabbit
of
holes
research
happen
on
a
this.
lot.
So anyway, I ended up listening to the audio you sent. Then I went like, oh, okay. So she's supposed to be on his show on Monday apologizing. Gotta listen to that. Then it was like, oh, there's another tape of her talking about something else. And then something's going on with her daughter. And then this and that and the third. It's all this stuff wrapped into one, right?
Yeah.
So long story short, she is working on, my sister, who is totally ADHD and gets distracted and wants to look at TikTok or something while I'm covering a very high profile story.
I didn't mean for that
because
to be so
she
loud.
is just disrespectful.
I'm sorry.
It hurts my feelings.
I apologize.
Oh my god.
But anyway, I digress.
Toby's oh my God, she put her hand on his
She's gonna
shoulder.
rub my shoulder.
It's okay.
Like, oh my God, she's really upset. No, but let me get to this really quickly.
Yeah,
but
go
yes,
ahead.
Shirley Strawberry. So basically, she's talking to her husband in prison, and I guess in an effort to make him feel better, even though he's in prison, she's really talking bad about Steve and Marjorie. So it's like, oh yeah, Steve could barely go up the step. He huffing and puffing and breathing and stuff, and he's cracking up laughing at it. And then she's like, oh yeah, and Marjorie, she treats us like we're the hell. I mean, we are on the talk show, video with Steve, but yet, she gonna act like yada, 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 and she better, da, 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 da. So then she says all of that. So then she says this a year ago, not knowing that these tapes are going to be released because they're prison tapes.
She knew.
These are prison tapes, right?
Wait, hold on. This was a year ago.
Yes, because of the fact that when he went to prison, she's talking to him. So then she has to show up this week to say, "Oh, Steve, I'm so sorry. I apologize. I didn't mean anything." But you have these kind of conversations with your spouse, and you never think that they're going to become public. But the whole thing is, I was just in so much hurt and pain because he was in prison. I was trying to keep it secret. I was a high profile person. I was trying to not have everybody know my business. I didn't even talk to you about it. Blah 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 blah. So then what ends up happening is Steve, interestingly enough, takes that opportune moment to say, "Look, sis, I got you. It's fine. You can stay on the show. You're not getting fired. It's fine. I do wheeze when I go up the steps, so it's okay." And then he says, "But it's funny that it's an opportune time because there's things going on with Steve and Marjorie right now that they're saying about Miss Marjorie." And
But is he saying that because of her?
He's saying that because of the fact that everybody is coming after him and his wife,
that somebody
leaked this audio from a year ago. Like, why didn't it come out a year ago if you really wanted to talk about it? But because everybody is hot on the presses of what's going on with the two of them, that this is the opportune time for you to make a lot of money by selling this audio tape. So Shirley is almost the byproduct of this. So therefore, he's just like, I'm not going to hold it against you. And everybody else on the show too was saying basically that, look, what can happen is when you do talk to people in confidence, if everybody knew your confident conversations that you had, you would probably be upset too at the things that some people said about you or what you said about other people. People just say things to their spouse in confidence. And one of the other people on the show was like, "Yeah, because I talk bad about you all the time." And, whatever. And they're like, "And I know Steve talk about us behind our back." And, whatever. So, people just do that. So, it is what it is. But anyway, so she's still on the show. I'm guessing she'll still do Strawberry Letter. Maybe she'll take a little bit of time from giving people advice when she's actually the letter.
I don't feel like she did anything wrong. She was just talking to her husband, but it was recorded. I feel like, but you did say, Toby, you said that you think that she did know that she was like, she tried to do some purpose.
Anybody that, and I think Steve mentioned this on a thing, anybody that's had somebody in jail call them and they say you are accepting a phone call from Henrico County Jail.
And it will be recorded or whatever.
Recorded.
But I don't know if you think that through your whole conversation.
It's like people that are on reality TV. After a while, you forget the cameras are there, and it's just you being you. You know? So I think she probably in the back of her mind knew, but she probably didn't think of all of the recordings that they record every day in prison. Mine is going to be
because, but also, I thought
exactly.
that she would have probably, because if it was me, I'd have been like, they're recording the calls. I mean, I'd be you being a celebrity, and you talking about a celebrity, but the recording the calls, it's like, they just trying to listen in about drugs and like what's going on. They're trying to get evidence and stuff like that.
Right. But TMZ has a lot of money to pay people for things behind the scenes. So shout
out to TMZ giving out everybody's information. Soon we're gonna end up having drones just go ahead and fly around and take pictures inside of celebrities' houses because of TMZ.
This is gonna happen. I think that Steve told Shirley, you need to come on this air and explain yourself.
I'm sure. No, the week before. Go ahead.
Because she told all of her business to justify why she had talked about his business. And so I think he told her, look, this is a problem. You've besmirched my name.
No, you've besmirched Marjorie's name.
Right.
It wasn't even about him. He was like, I wheeze. That's all you said about
I'm
me.
your employer. You need to get online and fix this and apologize in public.
Because the week before, right when it came out, what he did is did a teaser to say she gonna come on Monday to talk about it. And then he had 15,000 commercials during her talking about it because, of course, as a radio host, you get paid for every commercial.
Exactly.
So he would literally be like, I don't know why people coming after my woman. She's a good woman. She's the best thing that ever happened to me. When I first started off, we ain't had nothing. And everybody thinks she took me for my wife. She didn't. We were already separated, blah, blah, blah. I met her in this month. We got together in this month. and I got married in this month with her and blah, blah, blah. And da. Okay, let's take a commercial. And then it's like, that's all you said? And then it's time for a commercial. And then like, it was every 15 seconds, it felt like he was trying to do commercials. So therefore, I think that everybody was like, all right, this was your opportunity to go ahead and put your explanation out there. So have her come on here, say what she has to say, but then twist it so that way, number one, you can keep paid for it. You got advertisers who are going to be paying big money to be a part of a scandalous podcast or a radio show or whatever. And then also you're going to have where you can now have your say about what's going on. Because as much as Shirley apologized for her behavior, she also, like you said, to justify her mess in order to explain his. So anyway, but that was all that I wanted to share because that's like really relevant right this week, and by next week nobody will be remembering it. Yeah, I mean, exactly.
No, I don't even care today.
Unless they leak more phone calls and she says she saw Marjorie cheating.
Oh yeah. Then that's true.
What?
Okay, what?
Allegedly.
Right.
What? Stay still.
All right, and on that note, thank you, Toby, for joining us this week, and welcome to our next one on next Sunday. We hope you all have a wonderful week.
Yes.
Take care. Bye.